So I was making eggs today, and I thought, you know what? How fun would it be to make little eggs, like paper eggs, to put inside? So let's start out with painting this because this is pretty boring colors. I'm using Hobby Lobby's gesso. Not sponsored, but in the future would love it if they'd sponsor me. The girl who can't even figure out you need to take the seal off first. Hear that, Hobby Lobby? This girl's a pro. And I'm pretty sure this is not the proper way to do it. You should probably put it in a little dish or something, then dip your brush in there. But you know what? You're probably never going to see precision from me. I like to have stress-free, relaxing fun when I make stuff, because life can be stressful enough without adding stress in your hobby. Okay, while the egg carton is drying, let me show you how I drew Egbert. This is my iPad Pro, and I use Adobe Fresco. I don't use Procreate anymore, although they're both great programs. But anyway, so this is how I drew Egbert. He's the star of the show today. Not all my characters, but most of my characters have those big, huge eyes. That's one style that I do. But I thought, let's draw a little egg. And then like an egg person, Egbert, and then the outside can be just a regular egg. I just painted the bottom of the egg carton, so now we just have to wait for that to dry, and then we'll actually be able to paint some color on it. And I'll show you what I did for one of the outsides of one of the eggs. Let's see, let's play here. So I love claw machines. I don't like playing them, but I love watching other people play them. I love the YouTubers that play them. And I think I was watching a claw machine YouTuber while I was drawing this. But I thought, oh, we'll do some little Easter plushies inside this claw machine. That'll be kind of fun. So then when you open up this egg, then he will have all the little prizes inside him, like a stash of everything you won from this claw machine, as if you were actually playing it. But I had to laugh. I had to put a chocolate egg in there, unwrapped, of course. Imagine how gross that would be if that really was a prize. Although all it would do is break, and then you just have shredded pieces of filthy chocolate. So then I put all the little prizes inside Egbert. The egg carton is still drying. It might take a little bit longer because there's some of the paint's a little bit thicker down in those areas there. So while we're waiting for that, I printed the claw machine egg, and I'll show you how we're going to put this together. First, we want to score everything where it's going to be folded, because for Egbert to fit behind the egg, his legs and arms are going to have to fold in. So a trick that I learned 20 years ago is to score something, use the dull side, the non-sharp side of a knife, and then it's super easy to fold. I printed this on cardstock. It's actually an HP paper, which I was surprised. The HP paper was actually a lot brighter than the Epson paper. The first score is going to be so his eye folds in. So we'll put it about there so you can see that part of the eye will fold in, and just press and score there. Then the arm will be next. Score that. And then the legs. So we'll score those both together, and then just do the same on the other sides. And once I cut it out and fold it, it should make more sense. Okay, so while I'm cutting this out, I would love to know, what is your favorite Easter memory back when you were a kid? So mine was, I was 4 years old, and it was the night before Easter, and all through the house. No. And my mom decided she was going to try this new Easter dye stuff for us to color Easter eggs. Well, she had dropped her egg into the cup and then picked it up with her fingers. Fingers were all purple. So she thought, no big deal. So she washes her hands. She could not get the purple dye off her fingers. So us kids were just laughing hysterically at her, and she was thinking, we're going to church tomorrow, and I have to teach Sunday school, and now I'm gonna have to do it with purple fingers. So I, of course, thought that was absolutely hilarious as a 4-year-old. My mom was, how old was she? 34 at the time. She didn't think it was so funny, but still remember it to this day. So that was a good memory. And I just think, you know, what's funny is at the time, my mom didn't think it was real funny, but little did she know it was going to be one of the best memories that I would remember for decades after. So yeah, tell me, what's your favorite memory or one of your favorite memories of Easter when you were a kid? I love hearing those stories because, too, if you have kids of your own, you know, just remember that you never know when just the tiniest thing that you do that makes them laugh might end up being their absolute most favorite memory. I don't have kids, but I have nieces and nephews, and I always hear moms that are like so hard on themselves. So it's like, well, you know what? Just remember you're impacting your kids for the better more than you know. I can't speak as a parent because I'm not one, but I can speak as a former child and all the awesome things that my parents did with me and just, I don't know, all the fun moments. Okay, so now this will make more sense. We did the scoring, and one thing I forgot to mention is let me bring this up closer. So you just want to cut a little line above the thumb, because the score angle is a little bit different. So I'm going to do that now so that the eye and the hand can fold independently. Okay, so we fold the eye in, or both eyes, we fold the little hand, and then we fold the feet. So now we can see Egbert will be completely covered by the outside egg. So then just take a little piece of your scrap paper and cut a little strip. So I'll show you a finished one, because this is how the finished one is going to be, where you open it up like a little surprise egg, and then there's Egbert. Something else you can do, which I think is kind of cute, is just have the little feet sticking out. But all we're going to do is tape a little piece like this, little strip of paper. There. So now I've got 11 more of these to do, but I'm not going to go through the entire process, of course, for all 11. Finished drawing the other 11. So for this one, we've got the robin on the outside, robin egg on the inside, chocolate syrup and strawberry ice cream on the outside, and the ice cream cone on the inside. Got the outside of the cake and the inside of the cake with sprinkles, of course. We've got eggs boiling, and a hard-boiled egg, a rainbow, pot of gold, the, Gashapon machines. Do you guys know what that is? It's like I'm a Gashapon addict. It's a vending machine, but a Japanese vending machine, and the toys and stuff inside it are really cool. They're higher quality. So the Gashapon machine, and then all the little Gashapon capsules on the inside, some spray paint bottles and spray paint or graffiti. Then we got nachos and guac and the avocado egg. Got an alien or spaceship, and then the alien. We've got a bunch of whisks. I can't say the plural form of whisk. Okay, I could say we have more than one whisk. And scrambled eggs on the inside. And then we've got the mustard and mayo to make deviled eggs. egg carton still isn't dry, so while we're waiting for that, I wanted to tell you something that I just started doing that might help other creatives. I love toys, by the way. I was collecting for a while, like little worlds, because of my channel name, Joy to the Swirled. But anyway, most of my characters have the big, huge eyes. You can see them in the background too, all my different little characters. Well, that's obviously not my character, it's my fan art of Darth Vader. But anyway, you see all the little characters, and sometimes I just kind of get sick of drawing all the same things. So this is what my website looks like right now. My new one isn't quite finished yet, and this is where you can download all the free crafts. But this is my website, that the new one that I'm working on right now. So if you go to, well, you can't quite yet, but characters, let's see. So all the characters that I have up right now that I've drawn so far, they all have those big, huge eyes. But sometimes it's difficult to draw something that I want to draw with those eyeballs hanging outside. And I thought, well, you know, that seems to have been my style, you know, so I got to stay with that. And I thought, why am I putting myself in handcuffs, restricting myself to what I want to draw? You know, that's why I got out of the corporate world, because, you know, they put you in handcuffs, just telling you what to draw all the time, obviously because they have to. But that's why I got out. I wanted to draw different things and experiment with things. So I had this desire to draw a cow, so I drew a cow. And I gave myself permission to use different eyes. I mean, they're kind of similar as the big ones, but I decided, let's just make them really small. And I'll show you where some of the inspiration may or may not have come from. Here's the replay of me drawing the cow. I experimented with different shapes of the head and things like that. But if you look at his snout, you'll see where some inspiration might have come. I thought his nose looked exactly like a VR, but here I'm experimenting with different kind of eyes, letting myself have freedom, not being tied to that style I did in the past. I kind of experiment with, you know, putting hair on him and that, and no hair and different things, but I was trying out different ears. Now here I kept trying out more eyes. I was wondering what it would look. Oh yeah, that was creepy. It looked like a human eye, but I wanted to see what like closed eyes would look like, so you could see him smiling real big. But in the end, I decided to go with those. And then I started out, oh, there's the hair that I experimented with. But I started out with just, I usually do purple outlines in all my art. But then the palette I used ended up being super pastel. There I'm just writing the brushes I used so I would remember. So I'm using more pastel colors as opposed to the bright bold ones I typically use. And you'll see at the end, I thought, you know what, let's experiment with different line colors, because I think that can look cool too. You'll have to tell me which you like better, if you like this purple outline or if you like these colored outlines here. I also tried making the eyes like a dark turquoise, but to me, I felt like it just didn't stand out enough, so I went back to the purple eyes. And his name is Moozers. My boyfriend Dave actually named him. He's really good at naming animals, coming up with cute names. Right behind my filming desk is, oh yes, I wear my jammies when I paint, because I don't want to get paint on good clothes. But I've got these IKEA cabinets that everybody has. So let's choose some Easter colors so we can paint the outside of the egg carton. Maybe this in a pink. Do I have a light pink? Oh, here's like a super, I thought I had a more pastel pink, maybe. Oh, that's weird. Maybe I only, well, I suppose I can add white, or I could just use these three. I think I'll do that. Although maybe it would look good with like a light green too. I don't know. I don't know how these colors are gonna blend. If they're gonna blend, we'll find out, but I'm thinking we'll do like maybe a horizontal or like a diagonal gradient. I don't know. Let's see what we feel like. Okay, these are Ceramcoat, and the colors I'm using are Chic Pink and Tahiti Blue, Lime Sorbet, fancy, and GP Purple. Almost out of that one, but I'm pretty sure I have more. So what if we do like diagonal? We'll break it up into 4 different sections. I think I'll probably just do solid for the bottom. Let's see here. And, I'm using these little sheets. This is from the dollar store. Pretty cool. They're just pre-cut oven sheets, parchment sheets. And they work pretty darn well. Let's start here. I'm thinking that's 1, 2, 3. I don't know. We don't have to be precise. I say that when I don't want to be precise, and then when I want to be precise, I say, yeah, you gotta be precise. Oh, that's, if only we could always do that in life. But like I say, it's craft. It's supposed to be fun. I don't know how well this green is gonna blend or mix with pink. So we'll find out. And if it doesn't blend well, then maybe I'll just wait for it when it dries and then make it more of a solid line versus a gradient. We'll find out here. Yeah, that's not looking too good. So let's just do solid lines. Let's make it easy. Let's have a little Tahiti Blue action. I'll go back after it dries and clean up the lines. Maybe. We'll see what I feel like doing. GB Purple. Gotta love that farting sound. All right. What I might do too is just do a squiggly white line or something between the colors. See what happens. I don't know. One thing I know is it certainly looks better than the gray carton that it used to be. This is pretty therapeutic though, just brushing the paint on. First, do you like my 1970s countertop? Second, I can't wait to go to the gym tonight. So what'd you do today, Joy? Well, I was busy drying my egg carton. What did you do? This is finally dry, so let's, I think it is. It better be. Okay, well, we're gonna find out. So let's get, you know what? I'm gonna go the easier route. Let's do a paint pen. Yeah, let's do a paint pen because I like easy. So who loves Poscas? Oh, you know what? We could do like splatters too. I was thinking of doing like a messy, squiggly line just because my paint job was messy and squiggly. So why not just try to cover up the mistakes. You know what? I don't think that one's gonna be covered up. Oh well, we'll think of something else to cover it up. So, maybe I'll just paint all those things on the inside white. We improvise. It'll be interesting to see how this turns out. Part of me doesn't really want to see, but the other part of me says, did you learn something? If you learned something, then who cares how it turned out? I have come to the conclusion that I'm not very good at painting three-dimensional objects. That also might be, though, because I rarely do it. And typically, to be good at something, you need a lot of practice. So we can just count this little screw up session as a practice session. I've never painted an egg carton before. You know, there's a good question. I want to hear, what is the weirdest thing you've ever painted? Oh my gosh, you guys. Look at what happened when I spent a little bit more time and patience. It still turned out like crap. So I have learned that I'm a lot better at drawing than I am at painting. And remember when I said, oh, I'll just do a solid color for the bottom? Yeah, we're not doing that. We're leaving it white. And also remember when I said, well, it looks better than the gray that I started out with. I beg to differ now. Are you as sick of seeing this egg carton as I am? Okay, I'm not giving up on it yet. Although you probably wished I would. Let's try splatters. This is splattering everywhere but on the egg carton. Ha ha! Toothbrush. I forgot about this. I've used this before for splatters, but it's been like over a year. Okay, so gotta do it this way. Not working as well as I remember. Good thing I didn't say this is a tutorial. Oh, wow. Here's where we're at after I cleaned up my mess, and this gave me an idea. I am persistent. What if I just like whitewashed it so then the colors would look pastel? I wonder if that would work. Oh my gosh, you know what this reminds me of? In the 90s, every single mom, oh my gosh, all my friends' moms, everybody did this. They would, what did they call it? Sponge painting their walls. Oh my gosh, it was hilarious. That would be like, if Pinterest existed back then, that would have been top of the list of just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know what, we're gonna say this is shabby chic. It's a good thing we weren't going for vibrant. Figured out what'll make it look better. I think that's where it belongs. Actually, we can just start over. Everything will be okay. Not sure how vibrant these will be. I think that's a good pastel green. I don't know if it's meant to be. Oh, light green, I guess. I don't think I have the pastel set of Poscas. That's a good pink. I have a feeling this purple might be too dark. Yeah, that's pretty dark. Not very pastel-y. How about this blue? The blue's good. So you know what? I think in place of the purple, well, yeah, this turquoise isn't pastel-y. I think in place of the purple, we'll just do the yellow. So I think that might be a good palette. All right, let's do something super simple. We're just going to do little dots. How's that? You know, part of me is saying, oh my gosh, look at all that time I wasted on those horizontal lines. If I had done this first, it would have been done so quick. But had I not done those horizontal lines, or diagonal, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't have known that it was going to be so difficult, and I also wouldn't have come up with the polka dot idea, which is kind of interesting because it's kind of like life, where sometimes like you go to school for something or you take a certain job thinking it's the right thing for you, only to find out that you absolutely loathe and detest it, but you wouldn't have known unless you tried it, and you're like, oh, I spent all that time and money. If only. Well, That's exactly why experience is so expensive, because it doesn't just cost you money, it costs you something far more valuable. It costs you your time. So in my younger years, I would have just thrown this egg carton away at the point I realized it looked like crap. But what I've learned through the years is sometimes your best work, your best discoveries, your best things in life are right on the other side of that mountain of discouragement. All right, that's not so bad. It's finally time for the reveal of the finished product. Here we go, we got all dozen eggs. There's the ice cream. Like I said before, it's kind of fun to just leave the little legs sticking out. Then the spray paint, graffiti on the inside, the claw machine with all the prizes, the gashapon machine. I'm addicted to those things. With the little toy capsules on the inside. Mustard and mayo to make those deviled eggs. The rainbow, and at the end, the pot of gold. Spaceship with the alien inside. The robin and the robin egg. Little eggs boiling, and the hard-boiled egg sliced in half. That's a little morbid. We'll just fold them back up and not talk about that. Nachos and guac from the avocado. Speaking of another morbid, what do we have to do to that egg to get that? Okay. As my 3-year-old nephew once said, let's just not talk about that. The outside of the cake and the inside of the cake. Lastly, the whisk. It's hard to say that plural. The whisk with the scrambled eggs. I also made a paper egg carton in case you don't have one or don't want to paint one. And in order for it to fit on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, I had to limit it to half dozen eggs. So you can always print 2 of these to get all 12 eggs, or just choose your favorite 6 eggs. I use removable double stick tape for this to tape it the back to the egg carton, and then also put it on the feet so that you can open them up without ruining the print, and being able to do it more than once. I've used that removable tape for years and I love it. Well, obviously not that one, not this exact one. We've gone through a lot of them. But these free printables are on my website, joytotheswirl.com. Well, they are free as of the date I posted this video. I can't guarantee anything for the future. My desire is to keep them free. I also have a black and white version in case you're low on ink or you just want to color them yourself. And then I also made some blank ones if you want to design your own egg. And if your kids want to do this with you and the folding, etc., is a little too complicated, I also made a bigger one so that they can just color their own big one and put their own decorations on it. I also have the Easter story dioramas on my website. They are free printables. If you're a Sunday school teacher or a homeschool parent, I thought it might be useful for you. And as promised, you're gonna get a sneak peek at the crafts next week. Let me know which egg carton you like better, the paper or the real one. And then let me know which egg is your favorite. Let me know which egg is your least favorite too. I'm always curious what people like and don't like. Thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you next week.